Expectations are the limits of your reality. So here I have a few graphics. It's somebody being chained up and limited. It's another graphic of a person that says, I hoped, so I want. And this shows that they have a strong expectation to action. And at the bottom, I have somebody that looks very much so confused. And it says, why don't I have what I want? And to me, these are three things that symbolize expectations and the limits that come with expectations. So let's start off by talking about what I think expectations are and what it really is. So the definition of expectation is a belief that something will happen, a strong belief that something will happen. And I'm here to say that expecting something, although sometimes when you expect something it might come true, I'm here to say that expectations are holding you back and limiting you in your thinking and how far you could get. Okay, what do I mean by this? So, and I only have like one or two colors, so I'm not gonna go crazy. But when you're in certain situations, for example, any situation, let's think of you going to school, which I'm pretty sure everybody's done. So, when you're going to school, there are certain expectations you put upon people and that are put upon you. And those expectations come in a bunch of different forms. Like maybe you're expected to green. Perfect. Maybe you're expected to perform. So let's say perform. Maybe you have expectations of people providing you information. So you have expectations of people, let's say charity. And I'll just run with these two for now. So let's say you are in school and you go to this nice big building here, you know, it's supposed to teach you a lot about yourself. Let's just make this look as capitalistic as possible, because I'm pretty sure that's what all these schools try to do. And let's say this is your school, and okay, so back in frame, let's say this is your school, and in school you are expected to perform, and you are also expecting charity. So you're expecting charity when you go to school from your teachers, your peers, people to get along with, create friendships. They expect you to perform in a way that is what they would like and also what you think you need to be doing. So the funny thing is that people have expectations for you, but those expectations are allowed by your mentality and by how you act. So if you're in a situation where people don't expect you to perform because prior you have shown them no information that you can perform, their expectations of you are less. So that could be a positive thing and a negative thing, where people say people always look down on me and it caused me to do this, or people doubted them and it caused them to perform in great situations. And the end goal with this is to just match your own expectations. What do you expect from yourself? So that is what you're trying to figure out. So from school, you're expecting a bunch of different outcomes. And maybe you're expecting to become a lawyer. Let's say this is almost your end goal. You want to be a lawyer. So you're expected to perform. What type of things do you have to perform during this path to become that lawyer? So now you have to get some A pluses. You want to go to let's stick in high school. You have to get A pluses. You have to be very combative. Like you have to create this type of energy, even if it's just when you're in the courtroom. So it would be like a persona, but this must be created. You're also expected to, let's say, be clean cut. And this is already creating, I guess you could call it a persona of the person that you need to be to become a lawyer. So these are the things that are expected from you. What are you expecting? You're expecting charity in the form of knowledge, guidance, let's just see, and pretty much, yeah, knowledge and guidance. Like that's the main thing that you're really expecting, and people stray too far from that. It gets into this area of entertainment, but you're not really expecting entertainment unless you're led or it's glamorized to you. So if somebody shows you the fancy stuff and you're like, wow, then that is a different form of knowledge and guidance that they're giving you, because you have a different outcome of what you're looking for. So if the lawyer has fancy watches and fancy cars, that might be your end goal, and you're starting to see the process of what you need to perform to get there and what you think people need to give you. So how do these expectations limit your mind? Okay, so even keeping this same structure, we're gonna say the limitations over here. Now, the first thing is going to be that you are always limited by your thinking and your speech. So language, and speech. Pretty much same thing, but, and am I even spelling it right? Motherfucker. Okay, so language and speech, these are the first two that I noticed. First off, if you can't speak to somebody properly, you're limited to what's in your mind, so they don't know exactly how you're vocalizing it. And sometimes that creates two different things where they feel a certain way and they're speaking to you, but you could tell that their feelings are different from what they're saying, so it creates a contrast and you just don't trust that person. That's one thing that creates a limiting belief. Also, how you can speak and how you can understand when somebody's talking, how you could break it down, and how you could remember, think, just your cognitive abilities. And right now I'm high, so my cognitive abilities, I would say, they don't really change. It doesn't make it too crazy negative, but why did I say that? Cut. But yeah, it does definitely affect the way that you communicate with other people. So if you're limited in the way that you think and the way that you speak, your knowledge is limited, and the guidance that's given to you is limited by the way that you process it. So let's say you have a mentor, and now I wish I had more colors, but now we're just gonna get bubbles. Okay, so let's say you have a mentor and he is trying to teach you knowledge and guidance. He is automatically trying to affect your language and speech. The way you speak and the way that you think is what must be changed for him to mentor you. So he is creating a person that is what you must perform. But the problem is, if you judge these performances as the first, to this. You can't make this priority one. Remember, you can't make this priority one. So the main priority is upgrading your limitations so you could understand the way that people are viewing their trade. If it's a lawyer, if it's a doctor, if it's a basketball player, if it's a YouTuber, if it's a